And now, from Glasgow.
So, hello, it's Sunday again. Well, at the moment it's Saturday for me, but obviously this is going out on a Sunday. So, welcome to my weekly update. Three main things to report. Hello. Three main things to report is, first of all, I've been playing around with the lighting and I'm not sure if I've got it okay. I'm not happy with it. When I sit about this distance, the lighting seems absolutely fine, but as I come in it just makes my face go bright white, so I'm not totally happy. I'm not overly concerned about the front views because first of all, I don't do a lot of front views, mostly it's just straight down, and secondly, I'm looking at this on the monitor and the finished version tends to be a little bit better quality than the finished version. So yes, I have got a very busy weekend, which is fantastic because there's been no work for the last 10 days, and then all of a sudden the weekend's gone mental, and next week will be even more mental work wise because, get ready for this, I've got another new job. So the company that I'm with, which I've been saying is absolutely wonderful, I am still saying it's an absolutely wonderful job. However, because of various things which I won't go into concerning work, more concerning the boss, and the fact that the summer season's starting to wind down now, there just isn't enough work. I was given the impression, or the impression that I took was that there was just so much work. You know, if there isn't holiday tours, there's various contract work. It's just not been happening though, and it is technically a 0-hour contract, so I've had 10 days off work unpaid. Thankfully I've got a little bit of savings from my previous job, but basically the new job, I gave them a phone call and I'm like, can I come back? I'm sorry I didn't give you a call back a few weeks ago. And they said, yeah. So Monday I start a new job. I don't even know what time I'm starting now because this weekend I'm going to be doing what would have been yesterday. I've got three private hire jobs, which is 9 hours, which is great. It's 9 hours spread throughout the day. That is the life of a private hire driver. Sunday, I've been told it's going to be a long day. We're doing rail replacement, which is fantastic. This is going to sound really silly. I've always wanted to do rail replacement just so that I can go, oh, I identify as a train. I may look like a coach driver. And also I can go, choo choo, I'm a train. It's just a silly little, if you're a bus driver you might find that funnier. So Monday, this is how busy it is at the new job. I start officially on the Monday. If anyone who's been watching my channel for more than 2 years will know the job that I used to do. I used to be a long distance driver, used to do the Glasgow to London run. But since I left, they've expanded and they now do the Scotland runs. So I am going to be what's called a spare driver until he can find me a place on the rota. And to be honest with you, looking at the amount of work I can get, I might ask him if I can be permanent spare, because he's given me an Aberdeen run on Monday. This is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is route learning, but obviously there are shifts going. So Monday I'm going to be learning the Aberdeen run, which I believe is quite a high frequency route. Tuesday I shall be off to Inverness. Wednesday's going to be quite a boring one. I'm off to Edinburgh. Thursday I'm off, and then Friday I'm doing a London. Friday I'm actually doing a run, because he said to me, he goes, do you need to route learn London? I said, not really. I said, I was doing it before, and I said, do I need route learning when there's a two-man crew? Surely the other guy should be telling me what to do as we're driving. That's how I learnt the job before. You don't need to route learn like Glasgow to Manchester. You don't need to route learn that. What you need to route learn is where the bus station is in Glasgow and where the pick and drop off point is in Manchester or Birmingham or Preston University. You don't need to route learn driving down the M1 for 50 miles. So yes, I'm very happy. It's regular money, it's guaranteed money, and basically it's going to be working, he said, 6 days on to 3 days off, which works out an average of about five days a week. 5 days a week. There'll be the odd week where you get 4 days in the week, you know, talking Monday to Sunday, but there'll be days when it's 6 days, so it's all going to average out. So yeah, just bear with me a sec. I've just had a bit of a one of those moments where I've gone, oh my god. So my apologies for that. I'm one of those kind of people that when I think something's wrong, I have to check it there and then. I did a job yesterday, and as I was talking to you about how many days I'm working, obviously I'm thinking tachograph laws, and then I suddenly thought, did I take my tachograph out of my coach yesterday? I did a private hire Friday, so I had to stop the video, go and check my purse. There it was. I did remember to take it out, so all's good. The next update is my room. Now, to the untrained eye, it may not look any neater. What I have done is in the corner there, I've managed to get rid of all the wood. At the moment, it's there. There's a pile of flat wood there, and all the little bits is in a little green tray. On the balcony, I've had a slight setback quite a while back. If you remember when I had the lovely lodger, the one who's been on, remember the lovely one, the one who sets fire to the house by cooking. He had a clear out, and we had far too much rubbish to fit in the bins. So we came up with the idea of bagging the rubbish up, putting it onto the balcony, and then every other Tuesday when the bin men come, we'd fill the bins up with the excess rubbish. It turns out where stuff has been put on the balcony, we'd forgotten all about it, and there's about 3 bagfuls of rubbish out there. But then again, that is good news, because obviously I'm trying to make space. If you've got 1/3 or 1/4 of the balcony taken up with rubbish, all I've got to do is bag it properly, chuck it in the bin, voila, space has been made. That will leave a couple of bits of wood, which is where the wood's going anyway. That wood can get out on the balcony. We'll try and squish it up. This house then becomes non-smoking. I've always said I don't want to smoke in the house. It's technically it's a rented house, so it's supposed to be non-smoking anyway. And I've got 2 cats, and obviously, you know me, I try and do my absolute best to look after them. And if I'm smoking in front of them, am I looking after them as best I can? So that will soon be sorted out. This shelf is then going, and I've got to think about another shelf. There's a little shelf here which I'm trying to keep clear. All of these chemicals, they're going to be going on the shelf there. I just haven't decided. I'm thinking about doing an L-shaped cabinet, so it comes out a little bit to about here, and then it comes across to about there It will block off that shelf there, but it will then give me display space here. I want to put some of my models on display. I want you to be able to see some of them, so that I can just sort of change them every now and again, just so that I can subtly show you guys what I've got. So when it comes to saying what shall I build next, you guys can make suggestions based on things that you've seen in the past. The last thing to do, the spray booth is almost complete. I'm actually working on a video. It's a very simple build. It's the Airfix Tiger 1. There's hardly any skill involved, but what it does do is it puts my new desk and my spray booth to the test. I have come up with one problem. This is the beauty of doing tests. I've built the desk, I've put the camera where I think it should go, and in actual fact I put the camera too far over to the right, because you build it and you plan out, right, this is where this is going to go, I'm going to have to sit here, the airbrushes are going here. By the time you actually put the desk in, the chair in, sorry, you're like, right, here I am, and the camera's there. Still in a good enough position to see, but what's going to be happening is I'm going to be working on it like that, whereas I want to be working on it like that. So a few little changes to do. Oh, my desk has come apart. There we go. So yes, it's close. I won't say how, I won't give it a time frame, because I've got no full days off until next Thursday. I've got little bits of time that I can use, but no full days off, so I can't commit to any serious sorting out. But this is all coming. Now, the table that you can't see over there, that is a little bit piled up, but what I've been doing is things have been going, this is over the last few years, things have been going into boxes. And what I'm finding is, as I'm starting to sort the boxes out, some stuff has been in there for so long that I'm actually in a position to say, well, I've not needed it in all this time, I don't need it now, it can be tossed or given away. There's a few people in my area that are members of the Facebook group for free in my area, that are benefiting. But yeah, I'm really getting on top of things. Then once I've done that, I need to dedicate maybe one day a week to sorting the rest of the house out. I've got a couple of good cupboards in the living room, which is absolutely ideal for storing things, just needs organising. So I can put all my DIY equipment in a cupboard in the living room. Sounds a daft place to put it, but it's not a bad place. So yes, I was thinking something else as well. The two printers that I've got can actually come over onto this desk. There's a little bit of space there, which I can utilise. So I was going to mention something else. I should take notes, but I'm terrible at notes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a cut while I think of what it was. So, quick break, I remember what it was now. Before I go on to that, I want to do a little bit of an apology. I showed you the things that I bought last week, and I forgot to show you this. Now, this is a little Airfix kit. I'm buying so much Airfix now, aren't I? This is a little kit. It's a vintage classic. I bought it at the same time as the Buccaneer, and I've seen it built on YouTube. And it looks a bit of a challenging because the instructions are very old. It's very confusing and stuff. It looks quite a tricky build, but it's this. So tell me what you think of that, guys. It looks a fun little something different. So that's why I bought it. So now, normally I don't call bad companies out. I just don't use them. If anyone ever brings it up, I just say, oh yeah, I won't use them. But I had a problem with my phone, my mobile phone. For just, I think it's 2.5 years ago, I had a contract with O2. I'd done an upgrade and I got the Samsung Galaxy Fold 4, which is on the whole a very good phone. About a year into having the phone, I started to notice hairline cracks forming down the middle where it folds, and I'm thinking, okay, it's fairly new technology, it's still a usable phone, yeah, that's fine. But now it's developed a new fault where if I fold it while it's switched on, it actually powers down. And I don't mean power, it's like it cuts the power, pulls the plug out, and then you have to, and it won't switch on with it folded. You have to open it and then hold it and switch it on. Now, that's not a problem when I'm using it on the coaches, and the reason I use it on the coaches is because it's got a double screen. It's like having two mobile phones side by side, which means I have a large enough screen area to use two different sat navs. I use Google Maps because it's accurate, and then I use a program called Road Lords because it's set up for vehicle restrictions. So it won't take me under low bridges, it will take me through bus lanes, you know, and it calculates the timing a little bit more accurately. It won't send you down a motorway at 70 miles an hour, it will send you down a motorway at 60 miles an hour, so therefore it will adjust the arrival time more accordingly. Now, the theory, I actually have two contracts with O2. The second contract, I upgraded my Virgin Media, which I like Virgin Media. It works very well with for me with the broadband. So I know there's a lot of people don't like Virgin, but for me it works perfectly. But when I last did my renewal, I always renew with Virgin, guys, or most companies that do broadband and stuff, because what they do is they give you a deal and then they give you a minimum period, and then after a minimum period the price just shoots up. So what you need to be doing is ringing them up, grabbing a special deal, and then recommitting to another minimum period. The last deal that I had with Virgin, it was something like £20 or £30 a month cheaper, but I had to have an O2 mobile phone, an extra contract, which was going to cost me a tenner. And I thought, that's fine, I'll have a SIM card that I don't need. The SIM card will cost me £10, so I'm spending a tenner there, but I'm saving 20-30 quid there, so it's an overall saving of 20 quid, so I took it. So I came up with this great idea that I would upgrade my main contract on my phone, but I would keep my SIM card in my Fold 4, and then I would have that on the bus on open, leave it, don't touch it, and then I'd have my second phone, which is, cutting a long story short, is this would be on me at all times, and I'd have my Fold 4 set to divert calls to that phone. Slightly awkward, but it would work. So I contacted O2, and the guy gave me some really good advice. Obviously they want to try and sell you the most expensive phone going, and he was saying to me, well, what do you want to do on the phone? I said, well, I don't really know now, because I'm an older generation, I don't need all of these newfangled doing this, that and the other. And I said, and most of that I'll be doing on the Fold 4 anyway. I like my Fold 4, I have it by my bedside, I watch a little bit of YouTube, and I enjoy the larger screen. I don't tend to watch YouTube on my mobile during the day because obviously I'm working. I like a little bit of, I like to catch up on Facebook and a few little things when I'm having a break from driving. So I said, I suppose if you sort of imagine I'm a teenager, some of the things that they use the phone for, that might be what I want. So he's actually got me, we'll call it a new budget phone. It's actually, if you know anything about phones, this will help. I've got the Samsung A35. It's basically, it's a new fairly latest release, but it hasn't got all the top tech in it. But it has, basically my needs are make and receive phone calls and texts, little bit of Facebook, good battery life, wireless charging is handy for me because then I can put a wireless charger in the car, and it, you know, I haven't got to worry about whatevers. And it's just absolutely perfect. So he says, yep, right, fine, not a problem. So did all the contract and everything, and I noticed there was a different telephone number on my order, and I said, I'd asked him about it, and I didn't quite click what had happened at first, and I was asking him about this other one. I know I've got two other O2 contracts, one through Virgin and one through my electricity provider. Are you two trying to kill each other? Would you mind not? Shadow, stop it. I'll clout you. He's just beating the girl up. You can see them there, look. They are playing, but you know, to us, you can't tell if they actually hate each other or they're playing, but they are playing. Shadow's actually in my good books at the moment, because when I moved my wood out of the corner, there was a massive spider. I mean, we're talking arachnophobia. It was probably about that big with the legs, but the body was huge. I reckon the body was about that big, and it had these big thick legs, and Shadow spotted it just half a second before me. Boom, straight on it. Next thing you know, it was dead. I'm happy with that. I'm not into killing of animals, but I'm quite into nature. So when animals kill animals, I just go, yeah, that's nature. When he was a kitten, I had a spider in the bathroom, so I brought Shadow through and I went, right, come on, do your job. And he just sat there looking at it, and I went, you're totally useless as a hunter. But this one, he was straight on it. So the dreamies came out that night. No problems. Anyway, where was I? So, yeah, finalised everything, ordered this phone. Right, so yeah, we had this other contract, and I asked him about it, and he went, yeah, I've got to go through security checks, even though you've gone through security checks for this query. And I failed all of the credit checks. My name was wrong and everything. I was going through this, that and the other, and I just couldn't figure it out. Anyway, so I ordered this phone, and he says, right, that'll be with you tomorrow. The next day the courier turns up, and now they send you a PIN number. They hadn't sent me the PIN number, so I couldn't get the phone. And the guy was actually in my house looking at my computer, looking at my emails. DPD hadn't sent a PIN number, they hadn't sent an email, no text message. Normally you get a text message and an email. I'd received absolutely nothing. Not knocking the DPD driver. His condition with this delivery was he couldn't give it to me till I gave him the PIN number, and I couldn't give him the PIN number, so off he went. So that's when I rang O2, and then we checked this number out. It turns out it's somebody else's account. No, they are in the same country as me. They are somewhere in Scotland. Obviously they can't tell me any details because of privacy laws, but it's not my name, it's not my address, it's not in the same town as me, it's somewhere completely different. But he's now disassociated that from my account, and he says, oh, really sorry about that, it will be with you tomorrow. So yes, this was the day before yesterday. So yesterday morning I'm checking the tracking, and then all of a sudden at 7 in the morning the tracking changes to on its way back to O2. Well, I flipped out. So I'm ringing O2, they're trying to sort it out. She says, I'll have to put you on hold till I ring DPD. And then she said the disconnected the line. She rang me back, and then she said, look, and I said, look, if it happens again, I'll just sit and wait, and you call me back. And sure enough, the line disconnected. Well, I think she couldn't handle the hold, or if I'm on hold for too long, it cuts the call. Anyway, I waited about 3/4 of an hour, and I went, sod it. 10-minute walk to the local O2 store, and I went down and I told him the problem. I said, is there any way you can give me a phone and associate it with my account? And he says, no, because you already got a phone, it's just that you haven't got it. So I went, not a problem then. What I'll do, I'll upgrade the second account. So the second account has now been upgraded to a new contract. Once that first phone has been returned, which is on the first account, I've got 14-day cooling off period. So I'm going to cancel that upgrade, and then I'm going to transfer my original phone number onto my second account, which will then cancel that account. So I'll end up with one mobile phone account. And cut a long story short, here's my phone. Do you know what? It's actually all right. I've got absolutely no issues with it. It's the same make as my previous phone, Samsung. It does everything at a decent speed. It's got a couple of games. I don't play many games, but it's got a couple of games on it. I've been playing on Facebook. The only issue I have is where I've been used to the Samsung Fold 4, which has double screen, so therefore has a double keyboard. Now we're back to a single size keyboard, and I have to type one finger. I type one finger because I'm old. I can't type properly. But anyway, that's that. So this has been rabbiting on for ages. So RUM showing progress, as you can see. Yeah, I'll go through the individual part works as I normally do. So yeah, everything's starting to really come together. I'm not going to promise it because I've only got one full day off between now and next Sunday. Have I got? Yeah. This is a main area to tackle. I don't know if I'll get in with doing some building. I'm actually finding the hard bit is the whole floor is like a bomb. Mainly from where I'm cutting wood, and there's sawdust everywhere. And then I take the time to clean all the sawdust up. Suddenly it looks amazing in here. I'm actually barefoot at the moment, something I've not been able to do for a while, especially when there's sawdust on the floor. And then I'll cut a couple of bits of wood, and it's all over. It's the same again. So and plus I've been moving stuff to other rooms, so I've got to sort of move stuff out and move stuff in and into cupboards, maybe put some stuff in the attic. But then I've got a load of stuff in the attic that needs coming down at some point. Anyway, that's that. So where am I up to on the part works? Tomorrow we have got, last Monday we had a RoboCop double issue. That was the 5th of August. Yep. So that was the 5th of August, so that was a double episode of RoboCop. That means tomorrow we've got E.T., issues 30 to 32. Now, the good news about the E.T., we were told that the E.T., the next pack, 33 to 38, would be delayed by up to 2 weeks. And the following pack will be delayed by up to 3 weeks. It's not been delayed. I don't know if it's been delayed at all, but the delays aren't actually very much. So as I'm recording this on a Saturday, I've actually just finished compiling the videos. The pack actually came yesterday, and I built it straight away. So we have got issues 34, 35 coming in 2 weeks time, and 2 weeks after that we've got 35 to 38. Sounds a little bit daft to do a double and a quadruple rather than doing a triple and a triple, but I just felt the two, they go together a little bit better that way. Now once the next pack comes in, which will be in 4 weeks time, hopefully everything will settle down, and what I will try to do is I think doing 6 episodes in one video is a big ask, but what I might do is if I get some issues that are quite simple, I'll put together a quadruple issue. Then the next 2 issues I'll hold off till the next pack comes in and do another quadruple, and then that way it's going to pull me back 2 weeks. so I might be able to get them out a little bit quicker. The Robocop has, I think the Robocop's just been, no, the Robocop is due to be paid for any day now. I've got on my little cheat sheet, it's due to be paid for on the 9th of August. And it's due about a day after the Infinity Gauntlet. At the time of recording this, the payment hasn't been taken, but I expect that payment to be taken this week, and within 2 weeks I'll receive it, which, so long as I get it before the end of August, that's fine, because the next gap in the Robocop is the 2nd of September. Tuesday, I was going to put the Warhammer out, but because of the redoing of the desk and the spray booth and everything, I have put that on hold again. Drop me a little comment, guys. I made a video many years ago. It was round about the time when the Rootmaster first came out, and it was a fun tongue-in-cheek part work advert that I made for a bus company that I was working for at the time. Now, I'd shown a couple of people, the company I worked for at the time, it's one of those strange companies where you're either good friends with people, or everyone seems to be out to get you and everything you do is wrong. And quite a few people had sort of said, oh no, you'll get the sack if you put that out because it brings the company in bad light. I don't think it does. But I found it. When I was setting my phone up, I found this video. So I was thinking about releasing it just for something for fun. It was originally meant as an April Fool's advert, but I can't get it looking like a real proper advert. But I might just pump that out on Tuesday just for a bit of fun. What do you guys think? It's just a spoof April Fool's joke. It's not. It doesn't say April or anything in it. But it's a spoof. It's so unbelievable if you look at it. And it just kind of takes the mickey out of everything. It takes the mickey out of part works and everything. And I thought it was great. I mean, I watched it last night and I thought it was funny. So I might put that out tomorrow. Sorry, bear with me. I've got hiccups and I can't find cursor. Bear with me a sec. So my apologies for that. I cannot operate with hiccups. So that brings us to Wednesday. Now, a big apology for Wednesday. I had the first issue of the new project. I was supposed to be uploading it for Wednesday morning, and had a friend come round, and one thing led to another, and the next thing I knew, it was 9 o'clock at night, and I'm like, oh no, I haven't uploaded my video. So that's come out a week late, so I do apologise for that one. I want to sort of keep it as a bit of a surprise, so I'm trying not to tell anyone what it is, but I think you'll like it. So it's a new project for the Wednesday, and I think you will love it. Thursday, last week was issue 60 and 61, and this week is going to be the second bit of the premium base. I don't know if I'm trying to see if you can see it in the background. I'm actually so far ahead of the gauntlet. I've actually got all the way up to issue 69 complete. I don't know why that one fell behind. I know why that one fell behind. So what's happened was, on the last pack, I told you about this last week, issue 70, issue 70, they something to do with production. So they said you won't get issue 70. Yeah, you won't get issue 71, because issue 70 is, here's a pack, wait till next week till you get the next part. I haven't built it yet. I thought I'll wait till the next pack comes. But when I put it all away, I noticed I've got the magazine for issue 70, but I've got the parts for issue 71. So I can't do issue 70 anyway. The next pack has been released, and it should be 71, 72, 73, 74, 75. I may have my number slightly wrong. So as promised, now it turns out that the one issue for one, the magazine for one issue and the parts for another is a common fault, and that's what they've that's a common issue. They've done that with everybody, and in the next pack we'll get the magazine for 71 and the parts for 70. Great. But it turns out that what they've done is we now are not getting issue 75. So we are getting 5 issues, but we're getting 4 issues plus the one that we're owed. So then in the following pack we should get 6 issues. But we are getting a little bit ahead on the gauntlet. So what I'm going to attempt to do next week, this week we've got Premium Base 3. Did I say 2? Yeah, 2 is due out. So next week we've got a quadruple issue, 62 to 66. That's already filmed. That was my first attempt ages ago to try and do some catch up. Then we've got Premium Base Part 3. Then we've got 67 to 69, then Premium Base 4. And I think what I'll try and do is I'll try and get as many issues out as I can in one video. And then hopefully we'll start to get a bit more of a sensible time, because at the moment I'm releasing them like 2 months after I get them, because of the schedule that I've had. And that's it, guys. That's it for the week. Nothing on the Friday. Saturday will be the craft desk test if I get it done. I really don't know if I will get it done, because this weekend's about to go mental. But basically I've built the Tiger 1. What I've got to do is I've got to prime it with the airbrush, paint it with the airbrush, it's all one colour. Then I've got to block in the details and then stick the decals on and do some weathering. Theoretically it's a one-day job, but I should get it done, but make no promises. I am still working on 2 other scale models. I don't know when I'm going to put them out, because they're both, no, one's, trying to think what they are. One is an aeroplane, so that will go out on a Saturday, because that will go under 48 scale aeroplanes. And the other one is a boat, but Mondays aren't free, so they'll both have to go out on a Saturday. So it's a case of I'm taking a lot longer than I want to get scale models out, but once they're out you're going to have loads coming out. So guys, that is it for me for this week. As I said, the main news really right now, the main news is I need a mouthful of coffee. One other thing. So I'm just experimenting with a little idea. You'll see this come out first of all on the ET videos. At the end of the video I've made 3 little clips, and I will put 1 clip in, and it's all it is a guy. If you're from Norwich you will know exactly what I'm talking about. If you're not from Norwich you'll think I'm a complete weirdo. There's a guy called the Norwich Puppet Man. He's a busker, and what he does, he has a big hi-fi, he plays music, and he has these puppets, and he just goes like this with them, and he's just become a little bit of a thing. I believe he has mental health issues, but being the positive person that I am, someone who actually gets off their arse every day and goes out and does something, I think he's fantastic. And if you don't like his music, just go over there, you know. But I've got a little clip of him with a little bit of music, and then right at the end of the clip I've got, as I say, the 3 different ones. One says nice, one says okay, one says blah, and I thought I'll put that at the end of each part work video to tell you what I thought of that part work. So if I think it was a good set of issues, you'll see a guy at the end going nice. If it's horrible, you'll see someone going bleh. And then if it's like neither great nor terrible, it'll be okay. So you'll see that start to come out on the ETs, but not until we get to issue 34, because obviously the other ones I've already made. Just a little bit of fun. We'll just try it out. We'll see how it goes down. If no one cares or people don't like it, I'll get rid of it. I don't know. Oh, there was one other thing I want to go on. My channel growth. I do want to tell you about my channel growth. Bear with me. So each week I will tell you about my channel. Starting with this week, I've actually got negative growth. I know exactly why I've got negative growth. So in the last 28 days I've actually lost 3 subscribers, and those 2 of those come in the last week. I know exactly who that is, so I'm not concerned about that. I had a bit of a fallout with someone. I'm not going to air my dirty laundry on my channel, so to speak. It's just one of those situations where if you ask one side their side of the story, and then you ask the other side their side of the story, you're going to get 2 complete answers. And as my granddad used to say, there's 3 sides to every story: your side, my side, and the truth. So even if I sat here and told you my side of the story, it might be skewed a little bit. But I did notice in the last few weeks I was getting a lot of dislikes on my video, which I don't have a problem with, because you know my viewpoint. If anyone's hitting dislike button, my response to that is thank you for the view and the interaction. But since I had that, well, it all came out what it was. It was just that I'd upset somebody, not on purpose, and they hadn't told me anything. I had a feeling something was wrong, but until they came to me and said this is a problem, I didn't know. And then I finally acted on it, and then it all came out, and it turns out apparently I've been gossiping about someone, and they have been gossiping about the situation, and I found out from other people. But anyway, that's basically it. But since they've got friends as well, and both them and their friends have unsubscribed from my channel, and now my dislikes have decreased. So and actually it's not affected my views or my watch time hours. In fact, if anything, my watch time hours has gone up a little bit. And I suspect that this is the thing with good friends supporting your channel. I used to have a lot of people that were supporting me by clicking on the video, hitting the like button, and then leaving. That's all well and good, but if you put out a half-an-hour video, your friends come in and watch 30 seconds of it and hits the like button, you still get the view, you still get the like, but your watch time hours is down to about 5%. So if they don't, I'd rather someone didn't watch my channel, the videos, than watch them for 30 seconds. I do check my analytics, and this is actually one of my in terms of watch time percentage, this is one of my best videos. So anyway, that's ranting now, isn't it? But yeah, so I'm happy anyway. I you know, I have paranoia and various things, and I have this firm belief that the reason I try not to make friends is because I have a firm belief that at some point they're going to stab me in the back. I had an incident a couple of years ago. Hello. Are you fighting again? Yeah, they're at it again, look. They're at it, look. Bless him. Well, that was a good one, wasn't it? That was really vicious. Bless him. Oh, she has started giving it back. I have seen her on top of him before. But this is my... I mean, it's 5:30 in the morning. This is what they're like every morning. I feed them around about 7 o'clock. Oh, they've gone out into the hallway now. I feed them about 7 o'clock. Then they have another spurt of energy. Maybe do the zoomies after using the toilet. And then by about 9 o'clock, they're just chilled out all day. And then it all begins again early evening. And it's nice. This is one of the great things about me giving up the London work. They've got a nice routine. Even if I have to go out, it doesn't muck their routine up too much. And they know I'm coming home, usually same day. But it's really nice for them. And they have we've gone back to having their small moments of needing attention. Spirit's been quite needy this morning for about half an hour. Shadow's had his 15 minutes of fuss, and then as you can see, they leave me alone. So you just have to know, I'm not getting any modelling done at this time or that time, but this time I'll get loads done. And it's really nice, and everyone's really happy, I think. Yes, right, guys. So I'm going to leave it there. So as always, thank you very much for watching. So I will catch you next week. All I know is Friday I'm doing London. So that means I'll be back on Saturday. I don't know if I'm doing a late shift or an early shift. If I do an early shift, I'll be back Saturday evening. If I go out Friday night, then I'll be back Sunday morning. But I can do my weekly update on the Friday morning. But there probably won't be much to tell you guys. Other than, yay, I went to Aberdeen and it's grey. I went to Inverness and it's a shopping centre. And I went to Edinburgh and I've been there loads before. I'm not a big fan of Edinburgh. I'm sorry if you guys are fans of Edinburgh. I find Edinburgh is just very student-y and very touristy. And I think they've got the Comedy Fest going on round about now. I do want to go to the Comedy Fest, but one year. But it's just, it's tourists and students, and not much for people who live in the area. If you want all the activity, you've got Glasgow. Scotland is a really strange place because most countries, the big lights, the big city is the capital city. In Scotland, Glasgow, I believe Glasgow's bigger than Edinburgh. But Edinburgh is the capital, but there's more in Glasgow. We've even got the National Football Stadium is in Glasgow. So it's a strange one, but it's just something that you live with. Also next week for us, the schools go back. I believe in England they've got another 3 weeks of the summer holidays. I think this is a little bit strange because I grew up in England, that the kids don't go back in September, but in Scotland the kids, they start their summer holidays 3 weeks earlier, and they therefore finish them 3 weeks earlier. And it's just, you kind of learn to live with it. It was handy that this time last year, when I was doing the London, I was in Scotland for the last 3 weeks of the school holiday, and then as I went to London, there was the last 3 weeks of their school holidays. So I did get my full 6 weeks of school holidays. But it was nice that we were preparing for them going back, which is the real quiet time. And then we go to London and we've got the preparing to go back. So guys, I will leave it there. So yeah, that's it. I hope you have an absolutely awesome week. In case you were wondering, I know some of you pick up on things. This is actually, I've got this, yesterday was really, really cold, and this morning's always cold here anyway, because the sun sets on that side of the house. This room is on that side of the house, so there's been no sun in this house since last night. So it's always cold in the mornings anyway. I'm trying not to put the heating on. I've actually got a little bit ahead on my gas and electric. I've got a credit and I want to keep it that way. But I'm a stingy bugger anyway. So anyway, so I had this big thick jumper and I put it on and 10 minutes later I'm boiling. This jumper, although I don't work for the company anymore, it's really nice. It's a very, very light fleece. It's not as warm as a big thick jumper, but it's a little bit warmer than wearing like a long sleeve t-shirt, and it's just absolutely great. But even when I'm working for a company, I don't want to be wearing anything that will give it away. So I just sort of, make sure I've just covered it up. Right guys, that really is it for now. I think my weekly updates are getting longer and longer, aren't they? I aim for 30 minutes and I think they come out about 15 hours. Right guys, whatever you do in the next week, have a fun week doing it. Take care guys, bye bye.